one. Well, hello, everyone. Mac here with Dolphin, Judy, Cheryl, and Tim. And we're so happy to be with you to chat with you just for a little bit this month about the welcoming to spring 2025 in the wood element. It's a time to flourish with renewal, growth, expansion, and balance. Thinking of springtime, one of the key aspects of the spring season is the importance of releasing the past, all those things that no longer serve us, to make room for new beginnings and the creation that only spring can bring. This is actually compounded a lot because it's also true in this year of the wooden snake and also in numerology, which we've talked about before. 2025 is a 9-year, which says just that: release all of those things that aren't serving you so we can build new things in the future. Bottom line, this is going to be a very powerful spring. As we always do, we are going to talk a little bit about Sunrider food. So I just want to remind you all to please, none of the information presented in this presentation is intended to represent a diagnosis or cure of any illness or disease. And before we get into the aspects of the season and so forth, I pulled up a couple of things I just want to read you guys. It's a couple of quotes about spring and some traditional Chinese medicine affirmations that I think just flowed really well. So give me 2 seconds and bear with me. As the energy of spring rises, so too does the spirit. Let your inner chi flow like the sap of the trees. To nourish life in spring, rise early, walk in the garden, and breathe with the wind. Like the trees, I grow upward and outward with grace. I release what no longer serves me to make space for new beginnings. My energy flows freely, my mind is clear, and my path is open. Each breath nourishes my liver, each step brings me balance. I am aligned with the rising energy of spring. I move forward with purpose. My body awakens with the season. I move with the rhythms of nature. And lastly, spring is a time of the warrior heart, focused, open, and resilient. Anyway, you guys, I love kind of looking for these things that tie into the spring and hearing what quotes and affirmations come out. And we'll post some of those over the next month anyway, just because I kind of think they're cool. But with all of that said, Ben, let me turn to you if I can, and maybe you can just walk us through basically what spring is all about from a TCM standpoint and some of the things that are associated with it.
Thanks, Mac. I love that. It was beautiful and such a great setup for how things flow in traditional Chinese medicine that is a thousands and thousands of year old tradition and yet is still very relevant and insightful and beneficial today. And it's interesting because now, our modern science is starting to prove a lot of these things that date back thousands of years that the scholars and the doctors and the martial artists back thousands of years in China knew about. And it all stems from observing nature. And so traditional Chinese medicine uses nature as that framework to understanding and healing imbalances in the body. It emphasizes the relationship between the body and nature and viewing humans as a part of a much larger ecosystem. And so, with the 5 element theory, which we really dive into with these calls, this is a big component of traditional Chinese medicine. So we are now in the wood element, spring, and it helps us understand the relationships between the body's organs, the seasons, and the natural world in general. So the liver and gallbladder are associated with the wood element, and that represents spring growth, the flow of chi or energy. It emphasizes flexibility, adaptability, and the smooth movement of energy in the body. So when the wood element is balanced, we experience courage, optimism, and the ability to make sound decisions and flow and move with flexibility and grace. So as you can see on the slide here, there's many characteristics for each element, and I'll just quickly go through a few that we're going to talk about today. So we've already talked about the season, which is spring, and the organs, liver and gallbladder. We have the emotion of anger or frustration when we're out of balance. When we're in balance, we lean more towards optimism and courage and benevolence. The color is green, which makes sense this time of year as everything's starting to sprout and grow. The taste is sour. The sound is a shouting type sound. The smell is rancid. And the body part is our tendons, ligaments, the fascial system. So the liver is the general of the body. So it takes part in every aspect of our body's functioning. So it kind of talks to and commands all the other organ systems in the body. So we're going to experience a better flow of qi and blood. The liver purifies our blood, as an example. The liver just does so many things: metabolism, digestion, hormone creation. So it is really an extremely important organ that definitely communicates and influences all the other organ systems in general. So when we're out of balance with the wood element, we might experience things like anger or irritability or frustration. At a physical side, we might experience headaches, migraines, high blood pressure. We can even have eye problems, so redness, itchiness, or watery eyes, and spasms or muscle tension. So these are just a few examples of imbalance in the body. And so today we're going to talk about how we can ensure that we have balance in the body, and different tools and tricks to be able to, yeah, just find more balance in the spring and in this liver gallbladder season.
Excellent, Finn. Thank you. As you were just saying, the emotion, anger, the sound is shout when we have imbalance, I should say, during the season. And this quote up here is kind of interesting. Anger is an acid that can do more harm in the vessel in which it's stored than anything on which it is poured, which was Mark Twain, of course. And Tim, I know you're going to talk to us a little bit about this, and once you do it, I'd like to share a story or two around this too, because I certainly have felt some of that frustration you were talking about, Finn. And in fact, forgive me, Tim, I'm just going to jump in and share it now since I'm talking. Prior to this call, I was dealing with a lot of computer issues with PowerPoint and Zoom and all kinds of stuff. And I was right there in that midst of anger, shouting. And as I was sharing with the team here, the computer almost ended up in the swimming pool about 5 minutes ago. So I certainly feel that. And it's it's interesting, and I know some of the things that we're going to talk about is what helped me get past this too. But it was like, hey man, just take a breath. It's going to be okay. We're going to work it out, and everything, of course, turns out just fine. But I just had to share my little story on how anger can creep into your life so quickly sometimes. Tim, tell us a little bit about this too, and what this means to you, and then we can all share a little experience.
For sure. I mean, it's just more than anything. And hello, everyone. Great job, you guys. Always, as always. And here we are in spring. Thank goodness. A little bit about dealing with how we're feeling and the feeling of anger. And it's the nice thing is that it's normal. It's normal to feel angry. I guess part of the biggest thing that we can do here, and we're with Sunrider Foods and other general things to support, is just to be aware when we're out of balance, as Finn was saying, when we're dwelling too much in anger. We maybe have a little bit of an imbalance going on. Maybe it's our liver actually shouting at us to pay attention. And another nice thing is just once we're aware of it, we can be aware of the tools. For starters, one of the things we do in martial arts is just to practice being with the feeling for a moment. Sometimes that's easier said than done when we have a lot of things going on or have a lot of things on our plate. But even it just takes 15, 30 seconds. Just take a moment, be with your feeling for a little while, and then come back to our breath. I guess I'm already being a guy and trying to fix things, right? But it's just a moment to recognize that, hey, I'm feeling this, and I don't even need to know why I am. That usually gets answered later. But once you take an awareness step to to take care of you, to nurture that place for just a moment. And that might mean after an episode of anger, but it's still better late than never, I'd say, when it comes to that. and make anger your friend so that it can serve us rather than just keeping us out of balance. So all it takes is that little bit of awareness, and I think that's what I like about Sunrider Foods, for example, is that it helps me be on top of it, so that I don't feel like I'm at the mercy of my emotions, and being able to take my foundation back and come back strong, and in a loving, caring, appreciative, grateful way. And that usually, when I find that place personally, I can usually get past the wall of anger, and in fact, blow right through it and remember that it's a loving universe out there. We choose to make it that way, and can set up a whole one thought of gratitude can change all the neurochemicals and hormones that anger brings on. So it's just a matter of answering the call to anger. Once we do, we're back in love. And anger is just love out of balance. That's all it is.
Absolutely. Tim, that is awesome. Thank you so much. And, just to what you said is right on. My wife is always reminding me to embrace what the challenge is, okay, and live with it, like you said, for a minute, and then move past it and back to my experience. But I'll just finish the story about, yes, I did walk around the house. I went and hugged my dog. I found the gratitude and the love, okay, and came back. And lo and behold, things worked out just the way they were supposed to. So I love it. Hey, let's move on. We are going to talk a little bit about Sunrider Foods. And Cheryl, I know well, these are all favorites for all of us, but you're going to tell us a little bit about one of these yourself.
I sure am, and loved everybody sharing it. It's fun, even though it's a season of anger and all those things. When we share together and share our stories, it makes it fun. And I have to laugh, Mac, because every day I have the dandelion ease ready because I hear Tim in the office and I know his computer's going out the door really quickly. So. Anyway, I am going to chat with everybody about one of my very favorite, and I think an award-winning product of Dr. Chen's. He often says it's one of his best, and that's our fruit and vegetable rinse. And it's safe for the family, it's safe for the environment, and it's a real natural, healthy way to wash away all the dirt, the pesticides, the waxy coatings, the contaminants, the fruit on our fruits and vegetables. We wash our meats, our fish, our almonds, our any other kind of nuts. We wash everything in it. And we take the travel size with us when we go. It's always in my purse because you never know where you're going to be that it can be helpful. And there's so many other great uses for our fruit and vegetable rinse, which I'm sure we'll share with everybody as we go along. Anyway, fantastic product. And I think Judy, I know you love fruit and vegetable rinse, but I know you're going to be talking about some other great green products.
Yes, thank you, Cheryl. I just wanted to mention, Finn mentioned green as the color for spring, and that's no coincidence because we've all heard of light therapy and that sort of thing. So if we actually focus on green, get more green color in our life, not only does it help balance the emotion, but also certain sounds. Also, did you know that the bird's song in the morning, they have studied this, and it actually helps plants grow, the chlorophyll in the plants. So I think that's fascinating. So whether you don some green lenses, or if you just surround yourself with plants, and better yet, if we consume greens, and we've all been told to eat our greens, and that's where fruit and vegetable rinse comes in for sure, but you can't get any greener than evergreen. And so this allows us to drink our leafy greens, and it energizes us. And that's because it oxygenates our blood. It also helps, gives us nutrients. It helps promote the distributing in the circulatory system through the blood to our main elements in our body, our 5 elements. And also it helps the digestive system. One of the ways is it deodorizes. How many people have bought doggy chews with chlorophyll in them for their dogs? And it's so common that sometimes if someone has bad breath, they might say, oh, I feel like I have dog breath. And so many of other, there's a lot of human breath fresheners that actually contain chlorophyll. But the important thing about our evergreen and our chlorophyll is the way it's made and the concentration. And it is life-saving. Had many experiences through the years. One personally, many years ago, was suffering from a serious illness, which resulted in massive blood loss. This was how I recovered each time, because it was multiple times. And it actually builds the blood. Chlorophyll is referred to the lifeblood of plants, but did you know it's so similar to our own human blood that there's only one molecule difference, and that's the magnesium. And so it's actually builds blood. Sometimes when people are going in for surgery that could result in blood loss, they need to raise their, I think it's called hematocrit, but anyway, that number that needs to be 10 in order to have an operation. And we've been able multiple times to help people with, sometimes in as short of a week, to build their blood up so that they can undergo surgery more safely. So numerous things with chlorophyll, and it also lubricates the valves. You know, my husband was a big proponent of WD-40, and it's actually, the body needs chlorophyll oil soluble, and ours does that. And so it's famous for lubricating the ileocecal valve, that little valve between the large and small intestine, which has to open and shut at the appropriate times. Otherwise, it causes trouble. But don't forget, we have a series of valves all the way down. So it's fabulous for the digestion as well. Put it in 8 ounces of water. There were 8 ounces here, but hey, I had to have some sips along the way. So get your leafy greens when you can eat them. A very good way, and daily use, I highly recommend. Now, I think another thing that I recommend for I think all of us will, for the immune system, I think Tim's going to tell us about that.
All right. Nice job, Judy. Fantastic. I'm excited. I need some extra evergreen around here for sure. And we're going to talk about Alpha 20C, one of my favorite products that goes with the Quinery, of course, or the 5 formulas, one of the 5 formulas. And we're feeding the liver, of course. We're coming back to liver gallbladder, that is. And there's a few things, and all the things the liver is responsible for. There's almost too many to list because I believe there's over 200 functions of the liver that we can count. So it's quite a few, but I'll list a couple of the main ones. Of course, it nourishes the liver to ensure its healthy production of killer T cells, and there's not just one killer T cell. There's a variety of them that have a whole host of select responsibility. So that, which is wonderful. You want that to be functioning well and your immunity to be high. Also, things like healthy bile. You want to, like Judy was just saying, it's also going to assure that healthy bile, which is a great carrier and combiner for the absorption of nutrition and the process of healthy elimination. So Alpha 20 is a sure go. I like to have a little bit in the wintertime just to make sure that my immunity's up. But the other thing is when you're nourishing that, back to a little bit of emotion, when you're nourishing your liver well, you tend to find your calm place faster and appreciate your anger a little bit more, which brings you out of it and back to love. And speaking of love, I love Alpha 20C. It ensures that and I got to say, I've been feeling so good in the last few months. Anyway, cheers. It's just a wonderful, wonderful product. There may be more to say about it. Please have an addendum to that, everyone, if necessary.
Oh, well, thank you, Tim. Appreciate you covering all that with us. And yeah, when I, as we kind of started in the beginning of this thing, when I think of spring, obviously wood element. And when you think of wood element, Alpha 20C is what immediately comes to mind, probably for all of us. So thank you for that. One of the other products that I've incorporated into my daily Sunrider regimen is spirulina. And it is another one of our green-based products, if you will. And, again, they're all incredible, but a few highlights about spirulina. First of all, when you look at what is the perfect food, hard to define, but spirulina is probably as close as you get. Number one, it has 300% more protein than fish, meat, poultry, and without the cholesterol. Number two, it's the world's richest source of vitamin B12. Number three, it provides more energy boosting iron than spinach does. Number four, 26 times more calcium than milk. Number five, virtually no calories. And number six, kind of coming back to what Judy was talking about with Evergreen, is it is extremely high in chlorophyll. And I'm not going to repeat what Judy said, but we've talked, a lot of us, over a number of years about the fact that one of the things that we're trying to do with our Sunrider foods is to create an alkaline environment in our body, okay, versus an acid environment. And the reason that's important is because, when you have a strong alkaline to acid ratio in your body, it prevents the development of an environment where pathogens can grow and thrive. Okay, so obviously we want to do that. And again, with Evergreen, spirulina is another one of these foods that does exactly that. Now, for me, again, I mentioned I use it every day. I know I'm getting all these benefits I just described to you, but I also I've seen my fingernails and my toenails be extremely strong in growth. My hair has been good, so I know it's had some benefit there. And again, just one more product that's part of my daily Sunrider regime. And again, I hope if you guys haven't tried it, you please give the spirulina a try. Finn, let me come back to you and you can tell us about the fifth product in our lineup here.
Thanks, Mac. So I'm talking about dandelion root. And when you think spring, how can you not think about dandelions? Because they're one of the first things that come up in the spring. And I live in farm country, and I'm sure there's people who are gardeners who have a real hate on for dandelions. It seems like people don't like having them in their lawn. I love them. I think they're pretty, and I don't know any child that doesn't love blowing those dandelion balls. So they've gotten a bad rap for sure as being a weed, but when they are actually a superfood, you can use absolutely every part of the dandelion, whether it's the green leaves, the roots, the flower. They're all edible and they all have beautiful health benefits. So the root. Again, it's something that you could dig up the young spring roots out of the yard and you can grind them up and eat them or roast them. But what I love is that Sunrider makes it so easy. We can we know it's super clean and concentrated, and I love opening up my capsules of dandelion root and making them into a warm tea with water or with the Cali, and I just feel so grounded and calm when I drink my dandelion root because it is such a healing super food tonic. So similar to what Tim said, like the list of benefits is almost too exhaustive. Like we just even can't name them all. I'm pretty sure there's lots of dandelion root in the alpha 20C as well in that formula, but it definitely nourishes the liver and gallbladder to help with digestive issues, skin, supporting just the metabolism, supporting the immune system by being rich in antioxidants. So really rich in vitamins and minerals. So again, I don't take an isolate vitamin and mineral. I get my vitamins and minerals from concentrated foods, and dandelion roots, spirulina, evergreen. These are all foods that are complete in all the nutrients that we need, and the body recognizes it because it's food. So yeah, if you're looking for just a superfood with lots of antioxidant power, helps blood sugar regulation, can help reduce cholesterol, and boost that immune system, digestive support. So these are just a few examples of just what a beautiful food that dandelion root is.
Thank you, Finn. Now I'll say the fun part's coming because what we want to share with you all is we've put together something for this next 30 to 45 day period of time that we hope all of you will join us in, and that is our 2025 Spring Go Green Bundle Challenge. And as you just got through hearing, we were talking a lot about evergreen, alpha 20C, fruit and vegetable rinse, spirulina, and dandelion root. And what we'd like to encourage you all is to try to incorporate all of them if possible, but at least some portion of them in your daily diet. And so here's how the challenge is going to run. Between now, the 14th of April, and the 16th of May, we're asking everybody to purchase and use at least 3 out of the 5 green products that we've shared with you today. What we'd like you to do is we want some engagement on our 5-element cycle to wellness site. So we're asking you all to please post a picture of you unboxing your products as they come in, or a video. And if you post a photo, you'll get 1 ticket. For a video, there's 2 tickets. And then during that period of time between now and the 16th of May, please post about the 3 products, how you're using them, the benefits they're providing on our 5-element page. And for every post, you'll get another ticket. And for every video, 2 tickets. All the tickets will go into a drawing that will take place on May 23rd. And obviously, okay, why do I want to do this? Well, first of all, the benefits it'll bring to your body. But secondly, what can I win if my ticket is chosen at the end? You can win your choice of a 10-pack of the Candescent Biocellulose face masks, a 10-pack of Quinary stick packs, or a 10-pack bottle of Evergreen. So again, folks, this is our Spring Go Green Bundle Challenge. We hope you'll join us in this. I'll be posting within the next day or two my unboxing of the products I just ordered here along with these lines. And again, hope you'll all join us on this and participate because it will be fun, and love seeing all the pictures and stuff that you guys will be posting. So thank you for that. To kind of wrap up the call today, again, we just want to remind everybody, please check out the 5-element cycle to wellness Facebook page. We are going to be posting about the green bundle. We're going to be posting a lot of stuff that we're doing right now with these calls about spring. Again, we encourage you all to post along with us. You know, couple of other things I just wanted to share with you. We are going to be providing some other training that will again support everything that we're talking about here. You're going to see from us here in the next couple of weeks a segment on the immune system, a call about the adaptogens and the benefits they provide. We're going to have a call about spring cleaning, okay, of the home and the environment, and obviously the spring cleanse about the body, mind, and the spirit. And then we're going to wrap it up with just a little presentation around some business basics and incentives that are going on in Sunrider right now. So again, folks, very excited about spring and what it can bring to all of us. And again, like I said, shedding away some of those things that aren't serving us so it makes room for those new things that spring can bring to us. Again, you guys, any last comments before we let the folks go today? Okay, other than go green, everybody. All right. Hey, appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being with us.